Do you consider computers to be a recent development in technology? What about sound chambers that can magnify what someone says by a factor of 100 or more, or calendars that can be recalibrated from one year to the next? Nanotechnology, cataract surgery, steel that is flexible yet capable of slicing through a handkerchief while it is in midair, or a flying machine that is equipped with a manual for traveling great distances, which of these things would you rather have? So here in this video we will talk about technologies which scientists fail to explain. But before we start, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for further updates. Despite their contemporary appearance, all of these discoveries date back much further in time. And they present a complete conundrum to researchers of the modern era. We have no idea what many of these ancient inventions were used for, how they were constructed, or how ancient peoples, who did not have access to contemporary technology, could have constructed them. At this point, much is only up to conjecture. Number 10. The Antikythera Device was the progenitor of high technology in ancient times. In the year 1900, divers excavating a shipwreck off the coast of the Greek island of Antikythera came across a curious gadget that appeared to be the very first computer in the history of the planet. It appeared to be over 2,000 years old and was a metal disc with a complicated system of gears. Researchers have spent decades attempting to solve the mysteries surrounding the Antikythera device, but they have been unable to figure out how the gadget works or what its purpose is. It's possible that it had something to do with the zodiac, the phases of the moon, lunar and solar eclipses, and other astronomical events. But the truth is that we have no idea. Number 9. It's possible that the first calendar dates back 10,000 years. A calendar that most likely belonged to a Stone Age people 10,000 years ago was discovered during an excavation that took place in Aberdeenshire in 2004 and was led by the National Trust for Scotland. The Lunar Calendar is a parchment that is 50 meters long and displays both the months of the solar year and the phases of the moon. The entire piece of parchment has a representation of a single year's worth of solar and lunar cycles, yet the depiction is sufficiently realistic to allow users to annually adjust both the lunar and solar calendars. Number 8. Ancient Romans were capable of using nanotechnology. The Lycurgus cup is a Roman chalice that is approximately 1,600 years old and was acquired by the British Museum in London in the 1950s. Depending on the light, the chalice gave the appearance of changing colors. When viewed from the back, the color was an emerald-like green. But when viewed from the front, the color was a dark, almost blood-like crimson. The researchers at the British Museum were at a loss to explain what was causing this strange occurrence. Researchers in the 1990s who examined broken fragments of the cup discovered that the answer resided in an old application of nanotechnology. The Roman artisans who had constructed the cup had reduced the size of the gold particles to less than 1/1000th the size of a grain of salt. Number 7. A Greek from antiquity is credited with the invention of the steam engine. The ancient Greek god of the winds, Aiolos, was the inspiration for the naming of the Iolopile. Heron Alexandrinus, commonly known as the hero of Alexandria, was the one who came up with the idea. The Iolopile consisted of a spherical along with nozzles that vented steam in various directions. The torque that was necessary for the sphere to spin on its axis was created by the steam that was emitted by the nozzles. The sphere's rotation would eventually reach a point where it would stabilize at a specific speed, with a maximum speed of 1,500 rotations per minute once it reached that point. Taqi al-Din, an Arab polymath, is credited with reinventing the steam engine in the year 1577. Number 6. It's possible that a device dating back 2,000 years was the first earthquake detector. Zhang Han, a Chinese polymath, was responsible for the construction of a massive metal jar that was about 6 feet across and could be used to detect earthquakes in ancient China. It was adorned with 8 dragons that slithered down its exterior, and a bronze marble could be found in each of their jaws. The balls would become dislodged as a result of an earthquake, and the dragons would then drop them into the waiting jaws of the bronze toads. The Chinese observers who utilized this seismoscope were able to obtain information that was surprisingly accurate, despite the fact that the seismoscope was incapable of predicting earthquakes. They were able to identify earthquakes as far away as Vietnam, and they gathered data in a manner that is comparable to what modern geologists search for. Number 5. The ancient Romans were much more skilled at making concrete than we are. The ancient Romans made considerable use of concrete in their construction projects, and compared to the concrete that is used today, it was of higher quality and had a smaller negative influence on the environment. They began by combining lime and a type of volcanic rock, and then they poured in seawater to finish making their concrete. A chemical reaction was set off by the salty water, which resulted in the product becoming extremely durable. The old concrete was subjected to chemical and molecular analysis, which revealed that it included minerals that might be used into the formulation of contemporary high-performance concrete. Ancient Roman concrete has persisted for more than 2,000 years, frequently submerged in water, but modern concrete is designed to have a lifespan of only 50 years. Number 4. It's possible that the oldest telescope is 3,000 years old. Move over, Galileo. In the year 1850, archaeologists excavating ancient Assyrian ruins in what is now the country of Iraq discovered a lens composed of rock crystal that dated back 3,000 years. Researchers have been hard at work trying to figure out what its purpose is ever since it was discovered. It could have been a magnifying glass with a resolution of 3 times the normal level. Maybe it was a piece of burning glass that was able to concentrate the rays of the sun and cause a fire to start. However, there are experts who are of the opinion that the Nimrod lens was actually a component of an old telescope. It's possible that this might explain the extensive astronomical knowledge of the Assyrians, as well as Galileo's statement that ancient people had to have also had telescopes. Number 3. During the voyage, a magical gem was used as a compass. The ancient Norse people spoke of a magical stone that could ascertain the location of the sun even when it was shrouded by clouds, and that gave seafarers the ability to navigate the open ocean with pinpoint accuracy. A finding made in 2013 proved that the stories concerning such a gem were accurate, despite the fact that they may sound like they are about Thor's hammer. The legendary sunstone was said to be formed of calcite, a type of crystal that had the ability to locate the sun even when it was obscured by clouds. Its capacity to double refract sunlight, which allowed for extremely precise navigation, was the key to its success as a design feature. It's possible that those ancient people who used the stone thought it had magical properties. Number 2. The ancients were much more skilled than us when it came to applying coatings to metals. Metal coatings are used today to cover a wide variety of objects, including DVDs, statues, solar cells, and electronic equipment. However, the application of metal coatings is not at all a recent development, and recent discoveries suggest that ancient people utilized significantly more advanced methods than we do now. Ancient metallurgists were able to beat metals into incredibly thin sheets before applying them to statues, jewelry, and other items. Number 1. It's possible that the first battery is 2,000 years old. The so-called Baghdad battery was found in 1936 in a Paleolithic settlement located outside of the city of Baghdad at its modern-day location in Iraq. In reality, there were a number of batteries, each of which was comprised of a clay pot that had a copper cylinder inserted into it along its length. A rod made of iron was encased within the copper cylinder, and it was kept in place with asphalt. In 1938, one of the experts who had been working on the excavation hypothesized that the mysterious clay pots were actually early forms of battery technology. This is it for today's video. Subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos like this.